says public. I do see the number, but I haven't had a notification, so there we go, I've had the notification. There we go. Welcome one and all to the Team Thunderjama Kozmo deck profile. This is the deck I was waiting for in the post. So now that I've got it, hang on, let's make sure this is nice and centered. There you go. Right, so today we're going to go through this deck. So let's get started. First, let's go with the lower monsters, which Cosmos need all of. So you want 3 Tin Can. It is probably the best Cosmo like psychic in the sense of you can like it only costs like 100 life points to get back from Banish with Cosmo Town. So you do want to run 3 of these for that reason. Plus it's searchable with 1-for-1. I'm not running 1-for-1 right now because I've got it in a different deck, but I might be running it. I'm going to do some play tests later. So that is the first card. Next is the level 2 Cosmo Strawman, and then the also level 2 Cosmo Scaredy Lion. The reason I'm running 3 Strawman and 1 Scaredy Lion is the sheer fact of Strawman is a gold secret and Scaredy Lion is a super. That's literally the only difference, but obviously they all have their own secondary effects, and well, you know, run whatever ratio you want for that reason. I mean, I like this ratio just for the gold secrets, to be fair. It's one of the main reasons I invested in the deck was I love my gold secret rares. Next is your 3 Farm Girl and your 2 Sword Troopers. Now, the reason I'm running 3 Farm Girl is because it is essential. Farm Girl is basically a searcher that can be searched, which is really good. So Farm Girl can be searched off of the effect of stuff like Dark Destroyer, and it can also be special summoned off of the effect of stuff like Emergency Teleport. And when it attacks and inflicts damage, you can take 500 damage yourself to search any Cosmo. So that is really good. And then Sword Troopers is basically a monster reborn for 1,000 life points for psychic Cosmos in the grave. So you do want to run at least 2 of those too. Obviously you don't want to run too many small Cosmos, so I'm only running 2 Sword Trooper. Next is 2 Good Witch. Reason being is it's a level 4 quote-unquote smaller Cosmo, in the sense of so when I say smaller Cosmo, I mean like you can banish this card to special summon a Cosmo with that's so and so level or above from hand. That's what I mean by smaller Cosmo. And Good Witch is a level 4 one. So what you'd do is you'd go into, say you'd go into Strawman attack directly, Strawman effect, banish, go into Farm Girl direct attack, deal damage, take the 500 to add something like Dark Destroyer to hand, banish it, go into Good Witch attack, and then banish Good Witch, and then go into the like Dark Destroyer. That's like a really easy way to OTK if your opponent isn't prepared, which most of the time they are, but that's sort of the way Cosmo playstyle works. Next we have triple Galaxy Soldier. Reason being is there's a lot of lights in this deck, and it's really good to get a one of my extra deck cards out easily. You'll see what extra deck card I'm talking about later, but that's the reason you're running 3 Galaxy Soldier. Next is triple Slip Rider. We're now going into the bigger Cosmos, the ones which don't have the banish effect. They do have banishing effects, so like if when Slip Rider is summoned, it can destroy a spell or trap on the field. And also, when it's destroyed, you can banish this card to special summon any level 4 or lower Cosmo from your deck. So, it's really good. It's a nice back row destruction. It's a level 5 for the extra deck card, as I said before. Next, we have 2 Cosmo Forerunner. This one has the same effect of Slip Rider if it's destroyed, but also its other effect, because all of these have 2 effects. This one is during the standby phase you gain 1,000 life points, but during your standby phase, not just your opponent. So 1,000 life points is always good, especially in a deck like Cosmo, which you are paying quite a lot of life points if you've got Cosmo Town up. So always good to be able to have a life point gain monster, and for one that's in the archetype, that's really good. Next, one of the main beasts of the deck, the one that was banned, well, limited I think it was, to make this deck not as good as it was, Kozmo Dark Destroyer. So basically this is the level 8, this is, when it's summoned it gets to destroy any monster on the field, which is much better, which is really good. And it also, when it's destroyed, it can banish itself to add to special summon any level 7 or below Kozmo. This is the last Kozmo that has the special summoning effect, but for a level 8, it's the highest one you can do. It's brilliant, and it's got a monster popping effect. You have no reason not to run free of it. It's probably the best Kozmo in the deck. Next, we have our triple Dark Eclipser. So this is the level 9. When it's destroyed, it adds a level 8 or lower Kozmo to hand instead of special summoning it. And its other effect is you banish a Kozmo from the graveyard to negate a trap effect while this is on the field, which is really nice. So you can, if you attack into like Mirror Force, you can just go lol no. Or if your opponent activates something like Altergeist Protocol, you can go lol no. Next we have Kozmo Dark Planet at 2. Reason I'm running it at 2 is it's one of the easiest Cosmos to special summon, because its summoning isn't the same as the rest of these. So you can't special summon Dark Planet off the effect of, say, like Tin Can, but if you banish from your hand Cosmo monsters that equal level 10 altogether, you get a special summon Dark Planet, and that includes itself. So if you have 2 Dark Planets in hand, you can just banish one and then special summon another. It's a 4K beat stick, and it has a banish from grave effect, banish a Cosmo from grave to negate an effect, and also it has the floating effect of like a Dark Eclipser, but it's level 9 and below. So it adds to hand a level 9 or below Cosmo, which, again, if it's destroyed, that's not bad. So that's it for the Cosmo monsters. That was the majority of the deck, I'm not going to lie, because Cosmos are very monster-centric. Next, we've got our Emergency Teleport, obviously to search out the Farm Girl, to search out the Tin Can, whatnot. It's actually a really good card for the deck, so you do want to run one of those. Next, we have our Instant Fusion. We have a targeting extra for this. So, you do run one of it. It's nice for disruption plays. Well, not disruption, but for negation plays. It's quite nice. Next, we have our Field Spell Kozmo Town at 3. It's the field spell for the deck, and it does really good for the deck, so you can't really say it's a bad card. You basically add a banished Cosmo back to hand by paying life points equal to the level it is, times 100. So like Tin Can is a level 1, so you pay 100 to add Tin Can back to hand, and so on and so forth. It's really nice. It's only once per turn. Plus also it has like a magical mallet effect, but only for Cosmo monsters, which again is still quite nice. Next we have Reasoning at 1. Reason being is, as you've noticed, only like a few monsters share the same level. So normally when you activate Reasoning, especially if your opponent doesn't know what deck you're playing, they will say level 4, because level 4 is normally the main like brunt of the deck. But if they say level 4, if you get anything that isn't Good Witch, which I'm only running 2 of, you get a special summon it, which is quite nice. So Reasoning is kind of a must. Terraforming to search out Kozmo Town. That's it. And the finale is these traps, Cosmojo at 3. Reason being is it's very essential for the deck. You destroy a Cosmo on your side of the field to then banish a card on your opponent's side of the field or in their grave. But as you've just heard, the destroying is the cost. And as I told you, with all of these Cosmos, they have a floating effect. So if my opponent has a monster and a spell or trap that I want to get rid of, Cosmojo on either Forerunner or Dark Destroyer to go for the monster, and then the floating effect to bring out Slip Rider pops the back row. It's really nice. It's really nice. I do like that. So that's why that's one of the most expensive cards in this deck at £10 each. Oof. Next we're going into the extra. We have ourselves the instant fusion target, which is obviously going to be Thousand Eyes Restrict. You just nick your opponent's monster, haha, screw you. Then for the Xyz plays, the reason we're running Galaxy Soldier, you have your free Nova and your free Infinity. Because it's just a good play. Next we'll have for the Thousand Eyes Restrict, we have our Link Rebo. So you link away the Thousand Eyes going to Link Rebo, or if you really don't have any Cosmos in hand that you can special summon off the effect of Tin Can, but you have Tin Can, you can go into Link Rebo to practically negate an attack. But even then you could just summon Tin Can in defense, so you know. Then we have Phoenix and Cerberus for generic destruction. Can't go wrong. We also have Unicorn for generic send back to deck, which is quite nice. Then we have Skulldread in the sense, so if we get 4 monsters on the field that we want to link away, we kind of don't. But if we do, we can like draw 4, send 3 back to the bottom of the deck. Quite nice. We've got a Topologic Bomber for the sheer fact of, as I said, they have floating effects. So you just summon under Bomber. Bomber will destroy every main field zone monster, and then you just use the floating effect of whatever monster you summoned to summon another one, but you summon it to somewhere where Bomber isn't pointing, attack directly. Then you've got your Borreload and your Brawl Sword, because they're the generic Link 4s that you run, because Borreload, lol, I steal your monster, Brawl Sword, lol, I attack twice per game. So that's basically game. That's basically the deck. The extra deck itself was only comprised of like generic stuff because I wanted to fill out the extra deck. I don't like having an extra deck that isn't 15 cards or 0 cards. Having like an extra deck that's like 3 cards really bothers me. So what I originally had was literally just Nova and Infinity, but then I realised I could instant fusion for the Restrict and the Link Rebo, and I was like, okay, I've got generic destruction in the Nightmares. And I was like, okay, I've got 4 spaces, what am I going to do with it? So I decided to run Skulldread, Bomber, and Borreload and Borrow Sword because I thought they would make decent contributions. One card I would recommend, but I don't have because it's fucking expensive, is Pot of Extravagance. So what you'll do is you'll run 3 Nova, 3 Infinity, 3 Restrict, 3 Link Rebo, and like 3 Unicorn. And then obviously Extravagance, you're less unlikely to banish all of anything, and then you can still do all of your plays like your instant fusion with that and that. You can still do your XC summoning, you can still do your Link summoning to yeet something back to hand, to deck, sorry. So I would recommend that, but it's fucking expensive. It's like 40 quid per card for Extravagance, unfortunately. Although there is going to be a reprint, so if the reprint happens and it makes it somewhat cheaper, I will be running Extravagance in this deck because it's really fun. Anyway, this has been going on long enough. I hope you guys enjoyed this deck profile. It's not going to be anywhere near as good as Cosmos were originally, but I still think they're going to be a lot of fun. You're not going to win any tournaments, but have a lot of fun with these guys. And I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next deck profile, whenever that will be, because I think I've shown off all my deck. Actually, yeah, no, I think I've got a deck I can show off. I'll probably do that in like the next few days. Hope you guys enjoy, and I shall see you in the meantime.